All right, guys, welcome to the Bear Token AMA. We have Crypto Vadim and Geppetto representing the team for us. Just a quick reminder before we get started, nothing you hear on this recording is financial advice, and AMAs are a chance for our community to ask questions. They're not endorsements, although we have called this project, so I guess you could say it's endorsed. All right, Geppetto, Crypto Vadim, tell us about your project.
Hey there. So I'm Geppetto. I am the team lead for the project. My background is in program and project management in the software realm, but I've been working in crypto for a little while now with the team. Started out as a startup with a couple of friends, and acquaintances that I met through my career. Crypto, which is he's the one that invited me in to join the group approximately 6 months ago. And
I'm sorry, guys. Anybody else getting some microphone issues there?
oh, my bad.
You're good, bro. You're back.
Oh, sounds good now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I just wanted to start out with the preface that this project is under the auspices of a registered LLC called the Crypto Cravers, and that's how we operate all of our projects. I say all of our projects. This is our first real token project, but we hope to have many more in the future. So before I go any farther, I'll introduce a few members of the team. So I'm the project lead, as I said. Vadim is our developer. You want to say hi, Vadim?
Yeah, hey guys, Vadim here. So background is electrical engineering. Work with different special communication systems and electronic warfare applications. Overall, yeah, love coding, love development, and spend a lot of time doing this because I love crypto, and that's really what we're about. So yeah.
Yes. So, and then we also have Nick also on the line, I believe. He's our does all of our graphics for us. Nick, you want to say hi?
Hi guys, my name's Crypto Nick or Nicholas. I am the graphical artist and artistic director of the Crypto Cravers and also for the Bear Token. I'm in line with all the NFTs, pretty much all the art you see I do personally. My background is I'm a United States Air Force veteran, and I've been in the crypto game since 2012. So I've seen my fair share of ups and downs, and I provide the team with a sort of, I guess, crypto background knowledge of really what's going on in the markets and really how to sell the token.
There you go. And then we have one more member as well, Nick, who is actually Dean's brother. I'm not sure if he's in the chat right now. Nick, you around?
And Nick, if you're not unmuted, you can just raise your hand. I'm trying to get everybody unmuted right now.
Nick is actually doing jury duty today.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think he's stuck at jury duty at the moment, but that's okay. So Nick is our community lead administrative director. He does a lot of the paperwork for us. He runs the business aspect of things. He gets us registered where we need to get registered, et cetera, et cetera. So that's Nick's role for the team. I just wanted to start with that because I wanted to let everybody know that we are a legitimate business. We do this not solely. We all have full-time jobs and we all are well paid. We support our families. We do this because we love crypto, and that's what the Crypto Cravers is about. So with that background, out there, I'd like to start talking about the Bear Token. So the Bear Token was inspired after watching the market for about the last 6 months. I like to tell this story about rewards tokens. I love rewards tokens. I love the idea of them. I love the idea of passive income. And it seemed like every rewards token I bought into was initially profitable. There was a lot of volume at the start. Rewards were great. Then everybody starts buying more of these rewards tokens. And as the volume decreases, because you have more holders, you get less rewards. And in the end, the project ends up crashing. And that whole life cycle of a rewards token is very unsustainable. So I wanted to correct that. I wanted to make a rewards token that had legitimate mathematical logic behind it that could sustain itself. And the Bear Token is the result of that. We're taking advantage of the bear market. And the way the reward system is set up is typical to your normal BSC rewards token, where you have taxes, you build up rewards, and you disperse them, correct? However, we're doing it a little differently. We're not actually dispersing the rewards yet. Like I said, we incorporated the concept of the bear market into it, and everybody knows the best way to invest in a bear market is to buy and hold and wait for the dip to end, right? So that's the way we're running our project. We actually have set a date initially for 1 year from launch. It is the official end date to the project, if you will. We are going to build up our taxes in a treasury, and every month we're going to hold a community-driven vote where we're actually going to invest that treasury into different tokens that have been hit hard by the crypto slump. Things on the EVM, preferably, so we can keep everything cohesive, in a single Ethereum wallet. But going forward from there, we're going to continue to make those investments and then continue to hold them. And at the end of a 1 year's time, the amount of money that's going to be piled up in the treasury, based on just the regular accumulation of taxes, in addition to the intrinsic value that increases from the tokens that we've invested in, we're expecting that treasury to be quite large at the end of the year. And then the way we're going to do disbursement is we're actually going to come to when the project gets to the end of its life cycle, going to vote from the community, and we're going to ask them, hey, is it time to disperse these rewards? Because if we haven't reached the end of crypto winter yet, if we haven't started seeing that resurgence of crypto and all the prices gone back up, then I'm betting that the community is going to vote to extend it for a few more months until we see that. So that's why I said initially we blocked our LP for a year. At the end of that time frame, the way we're going to disperse the rewards is everybody that holds tokens, holds a certain percentage of the project. And those rewards are going to be dispersed proportionally to every single holder in the project. So if you own 1% of the supply, you're going to get a 1% of the treasury at the very end. And not just the treasury. Like I said, this project has an end. So we're anticipating at the very end, we're actually going to pool all of our liquidity and add it to the treasury. And then everybody who's a holder is going to exchange their tokens at that point for their piece of the pie. And that's how we're going to do it. We know that rewards tokens aren't sustainable long term. We feel that this is the best way to do it, to set a time limit in advance with our own knowledge and say, hey, this is when it is going to end and this is when it is going to get its rewards. And I think that's the way we're going to get the best bang for our buck here.
And just to add something for what JP said, it's going to ruffle a few feathers possibly, but I'm going to mention this. We looked at the construct of smart contracts, right? And we looked at actual blockchains. And the one thing I want to add is, from just my analysis, I actually consider smart contracts something you usually should put an expiration date on. You talk about a lot of these abandoned projects, right? Projects that essentially either get rug pulled or people are going out there and just forgetting about them and just don't want to deal with it anymore. Well, if you put timelines on this stuff and you say, okay, we're doing this for 12 months and then we're done, guys. Then we move on to something else and start a new project or concentrate on something else. Like, I think it really brings an explanation to what needs to happen with a smart contract. Anyways, that's all I had.
Yeah. So what was the inspiration behind doing the rewards this way? I've actually never heard. I've heard of delayed rewards, but that's interesting.
Well, yeah, then that was the inspiration was watching the death of so many rewards tokens. Like I said, that life cycle, they pump, there's a lot of rewards, volume drops, and then they die. And it happens time and time again. And that's the inspiration, was just my own investments and watching it fail. And I wanted to create something better.
Great. All right. So tell us about how you guys actually got this together and decided to launch. Like, what was the true genesis of the project? Like, what made you guys decide, like, okay, we're launching on this day and this is the way we're going about it? Well,
sure. So I would say that it wasn't very sudden. It was something that we had talked about. I told you, as Crypto Cravers, as a business, what we were doing is we spent probably about 4 to 5 months just going, like, every week we were releasing articles on our Reddit page, just reviewing projects. And reviewing projects, just highlighting the good features that we saw. And that's really what inspired it, is our own investments, in combination with looking at projects we like. I had the idea and I brought it to the team at one of our weekly meetings, and I said, hey, we're in this bear market. I think we can do something great with it. I think we can make a profitable token and also combine that with more than just profit, but combine it into a community effort where we can take the chance to educate people. Because the bear market, like I said, is a great time to invest. But for the single investor, buying a low cost token and then holding it for a year, I mean, it's profitable in the end, but it's kind of boring for a single investor. So by pulling people together as a community, putting it in a treasury and working together, it builds those bonds of brotherhood, really, and teaches them, hey, this is the right way to do it. Let's stick together. And then you have that positive peer pressure that you're all going to stay together and wait out the crypto winter together. And that's the whole idea, is to bring the community involvement into the project, educate them on the right way to invest in a bear market, and then come out at the end, with some good profit.
Great. So, I mean, what do you guys think has defined your success up to this point? How have you pulled it off?
Well, the main way I would say the reason we got such a strong and solid community is our refusal to do calls. So it's funny because you were the one call Achilles that I paid for, and and there's nothing wrong with that. Calls have a good place in this market. It's important for certain projects. When I started it, I shared everything about this project with multiple people, and I even talked to you about it, Achilles. I sent you all the details, and you loved it. And I guess maybe it was my naivety, just being naive at the start, thinking that I would just get a bunch of free calls, and I got a bunch of free calls, and they helped us at the start. But I think part of the problem with BSC today is the over-reliance on calls, because calls are good to bring attention, but if you don't have a solid project behind it, it's going to stick with it. It's just going to be a pump and dump. So that's what makes us different, is that we avoided calls as a whole, and the ones we did were strategic. You know what I mean? The ones that we had put out there, when we got the investors in our chat, we started talking to them and telling them about what the project really was. And I think that is the foundation of our success. We went from, I think in like 2 or 3 days, we got to 25,000, we got to 30,000. We dropped back a little bit, and then we launched up to over 500,000. And now we're sitting about a little under 400 right now. The chart was ridiculous for a while. It was just up, up, up. And that kind of growth isn't really sustainable. You need some retracements to solidify your base and solidify your chart. And that's where we're at right now. I think we're sitting in a really solid position, and we're primed for more growth.
Hey, JP, I also wanted to add, besides the whole cost thing, there's very little trust in this space, right? And it's important to look at the big picture and just give transparency, right? And like transparency, not just like, okay, we're going to give you some info, but like borderline naivety, basically. Essentially, everyone knows what is going on at all times. If there's a problem, you bring it in the chat and you're like, hey guys, this is real, right? And this is what's happening right now. I just want you guys to know, because just full transparency and trust from the community. And I think that's really what drums up the just the participation and the engagement that we get within the chat, and able to move things like we have been, is just being honest, right? And not looking out for number one, but looking out for the team, because that's what we are. We're a team in there, and when you join the Bear family, you're essentially part of that team.
Like to hear that. Yeah, you guys launched at the perfect time for your namesake. I gotta say, I mean, watching your chart and your community grow over that time was, I gotta just say, it was surprising. Like, I did not expect the bear market to bring us all together as much as it did. And I think you guys were the first token that I saw where that actually happened. Is we all got used to, I mean, things flying from, 10K to 200K in a few minutes, and that being standard launch. But it kind of destroyed the space a little bit at the same time. Like, it was just on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And since the bear market hit and since you guys have launched, like I'm watching real holders and real people be part of the community, which is excellent. So, for my question, tell us about your community and the plans. I mean, how have you guys, you said you're not using calls primarily. How have you effectively marketed this to this point? How have you got the word out?
For sure. So we started out with a pretty decent network of just, friends that we've built up in the community over time. And we've gone on from there. So this is our third official AMA. So we're just going into week 3. The way we're doing it now is we're planning 2 AMAs a week. We're gonna run an AMA every Monday and every Friday. And we're gonna be consistent about it because, like I said, the basis for our followership is being open, honest, and explaining to people why this makes sense. And that's what we're doing. And that's why we're here talking to your folks, is to let them know what the bear token is, what our vision is, and how it works. And honestly, just the idea of it, to me, I'm a very logically minded person. I think anybody in this field just thrives on logic and coding and stuff like that. I mean, the idea of the treasury makes so much sense. It's just a beautiful concept because, the way it's going to be distributed, the taxes build up the treasury and everybody gets excited. And then there comes a point where the value of the token might exceed the final payout at the end. And that's fine. And then you might see some sell-offs and the chart might fall a little bit. But as the chart falls, it continues to build the treasury, right? And then as the treasury gets more valuable again, everybody gets excited and starts buying back in. And each time you have that retracement, the treasury just grows and it cannot stop growing. The treasury can't drop. It can only go up. So because of that, it's just such a perfect mechanism to continue growing the treasury, growing the chart, growing the project as a whole, because it makes sense.
And just to kind of demonstrate that, the mathematical model, in the chat for this, I actually dropped the first few days of what the treasury did. If you guys take a look at just the entrance, right, on 28 June, kind of when we started advertising, and like we had the first few sells, we got like 0.006 BNB going in the treasury. It was really tiny. And then like by the time July 9th rolled around, right, and the liquidity pool increased, the market cap increased, we're up at 0.6 BNB going into the treasury at a time, right? And it built up basically almost like compound interest to 2.06 at that time. We're well past that. JP, what's the treasury at right now?
Let me see. Let me check our chat right now. The treasury, I believe, is over. Hold on. So the treasury is over. We have over 3,000 in BUSD, and we have a half a BNB in there. So it's growing. It's kind of just, it's settling in. It's really starting to grow now. And again, as part of that community effort that we mentioned, we had BNB initially. Obviously, everything stacks up in BNB. But as we're in the bear market and as we expect the market to continue going down, you see these little pumps in the BNB chart. And just to kind of, we believe we've seen it in the past, and it's a representation of like big crypto and institutional buyers kind of just shaking out the market a little bit. So you see all these little pumps and then it drops more. Then there's a little pump and it drops more. So Nick, who has said he's had the background of crypto for over 10 years, is kind of been advising us, as well as some other people. When we see these little pumps, we're converting our BNB into a stablecoin to make sure that we're maintaining as much value as possible in the treasury at any given time. We're going to do our first official investment in the market at the end of the month, in about 12 or 13 days now.
That's great. And what do you say, like initial investment? Exactly where is it going to be going?
So it's really going to be up to the community, and that's the main thing I want to point out here. Is we're gonna do our research, and we're gonna get a pool of options together. Basically, we're going to present to the community a series of options, things like Polygon, things like oh gosh, my mind is going. Polygon, for sure. Avalanche, Wrapped Radix, things like that. Things that have been hit really hard by this slump. and we're going to present all those options. We're going to give them an analysis of like, hey, this is where it was at last pump. This is what the project's about. This is where it could potentially be going. And then we're going to let the community decide. And then we will spend the money in the treasury on those tokens, and we will hold it there. And those tokens are going to go anywhere for at least a year, and they're just going to grow through the bear market.
Cool. And what happens with the tokens after they've, ideally increased in value?
Yeah. So at the end, they'll be eventually, as the market recovers, we're going to, hit a bull market again, and we're going to convert everything back into BNB or BUSD, and we're going to disperse it all back to our holders.
Okay. Very cool. And in what way is that dispersed? Like, is there a threshold you have to hold? Is there a top wallet kind of thing?
No. So it's going to be completely proportional. If you hold 0.5% of the supply, you'll get 0.5% of the rewards at the end. There's a few other mechanics we have in place. The way it's going to work specifically is we're developing the app for our website, and we're actually going to exchange. You're going to send your bear tokens to a burn wallet, essentially, and the contract will exchange your rewards for it. At the very end, every individual bear token will have a value represented by the treasury, and that's going to, for every bear token you submit to the burn wallet, you'll get that much reward in exchange.
So more specifically what JP said, there are 100 million bear tokens that were minted in the beginning. We cannot and will not mint anymore. Out of those 100 million, essentially 1 million bear tokens get you 1% of the take at the very end of the project. So that is equivalent to 1%. That is a maximum wallet, or as we call it, a full bag. And from there, I mean, you can have multiple wallets. A few people, I think, do. They bought 2, possibly 3 wallets. So to get 2 or 3% at the end. And these are long-term holders that came into this. And basically from there, we also have a burn that's happening. So every single cell is getting rid of that 1 million. Right now, I believe we're up to 600,000 that have already been burned. So essentially, just because you bought 1% and you hold it all the way till the end doesn't mean you're only going to get 1%, because at the end, it's going to be more tokens burned. And the percentage is going to be based on the total value that is not burnt.
Okay. So one thing I was a little confused about, you said that it burns 1 million tokens per transaction?
No. Sorry.
No.
1% of the trade gets burned.
Got it.
So if you're selling 1 million tokens for some reason, then 1% of that'll be 10,000. Public math.
I got you. Okay. So if you sell, I got you. Interesting, guys. Interesting. This treasury. So, I mean, when do you guys predict that this would actually be invested and spread out to everyone? Like, let's say I want to buy a token today. What can I expect over the next few weeks, months?
Well, what you can expect is twofold, and I like to explain this. Is there's 2 ways to really make money on this project. You can play the chart, or you can play the long game. Both are profitable. Everybody can play, and everybody can win in their own way. So, as I said, the way the treasury works, it can only increase in value. And if the treasury increases in value, the chart's going to increase in value, the overall value of the project. So if you're the type of investor that wants to purchase now and let the token price increase over the next 30 days and sell out for the higher price, that's fine. Congratulations, you made some money. You also fed the bear. You also fed our treasury. That's going to reward all of our holders in the end. So the initial project length for this is a year. So we locked our LP for a year. Next July is when it'll unlock. We've only been live for 18 days now. So we're just getting started. And I think that's the point here. So if you're a short-term player, fine. That's great. The more volume we have, the bigger the treasury grows. And we're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, you're completely welcome to invest this short-term or long-term. That's the design of it, is that everybody can win in their own way.
Okay. Very cool. Let's see. What other questions do I have for you guys here? Any upcoming partnerships or exchanges that you guys plan on listing on?
Sure. So, as I said, we're only 18 days old. We didn't expect to have to really think about getting listed on different exchanges already. You always get those questions at the beginning. When you get in your CoinMarketCap, when you get in your CoinGecko listings, came a lot faster than we expected it to come, and we've already applied for it. Those applications are pending. We've even started thinking about getting listed on a centralized exchange. I don't think we're quite there yet, but it's definitely something we're considering. As far as partnerships, we have several partnerships. We've been working with the Papaverse, with Fudox, with Safe Zone, and with the D-Gentlemen's Club. Those are just 4 of them, and we expect more to grow every day. Achilles, we also consider you to be a partner. You invested early in the project. And we appreciate that, and we appreciate you sticking with us this whole time. And that's what our project's about is we want to partner with everybody we can. We want everybody to feel the love of this token. It is really a community-driven project, and there's no limit to the amount of people that can be included in that.
Yeah, I got to say, I love the logo you guys made for me. That was
yeah. And
please go ahead.
We got more. We actually our graphic artist, as a gift for you at the end of this.
Yeah.
I think you're having some connection issues with Dean. But yeah, we have a surprise for you, Achilles. We're going to give out. And, if I want to talk, there's a few more plans we have in the works. And I want to give Nick a platform right now. So when we started this project, we talked about NFTs because everybody loves NFTs. But we wanted to be really careful about releasing a bunch of, just junk. So we've created a utility-based system for some NFTs, and I want to give Nick a platform to talk about it because as the artist, that's kind of his wheelhouse. So go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, thanks, JP. So for the NFT platform, we wanted to create something unique and special, something that is rarely seen within the NFT space. So what we decided to do was have several different events throughout the entire year. The first type of events are like our special 1 month, 3 month, 6 month events. And each one of these events, they have giveaways and raffles and lotteries. On this month event, we're going to pick the treasury investments. Also, for this 1 month event, we're going to give away 10 unique and very special staking NFTs for those who are staking through our platform. But for anyone we do AMAs with, we see AMAs as not just a call, not just a talk, but more of a mutual strategic partnership. And to really emphasize that partnership, we decided to create quite unique NFTs for whoever we're talking to. So Achilles, we create you a very unique and quite frankly, it's actually my favorite one I've created so far. So at the end of this AMA, I'm going to present you guys with your NFT. There's 2 of them minted. Well, there's technically 3 of them minted, but 2 of them will be for your team. So if you could just DM me after the AMA, I can present them. You can showcase it to your team. And I'll be making, actually, we have a guy in our team called Lumen. He makes stickers for us. So he'll be developing the animated stickers for this NFT as well. So you can present it in your calls or in your public groups.
That's very kind of you, man. I actually just shot you a DM, but I think Japan is in your group.
Yeah, I just dropped the link to it in the group so you can check it out. As I said, one of our partners is the Papa Exchange, and they are the ones that are handling our NFT listings as well as they hold the staking venue for us at the moment.
So I showed somebody your logo who isn't into crypto, and I will say the rotating effect that you guys have done is phenomenal. And their first sentiment was like, wow, I can't see it when it actually changes. Like, it looks great.
Yeah. How I see it is with crypto is a bunch of numbers and digits, right? For the average user, there's nothing to look at. There's nothing to physically grasp. There's no element of really anything to it besides a number that you build up on. And I see crypto as more of an art space, for artists and for anyone who's really creative. It's a great way to really showcase what you can do. And also it's a great way to really pull in non-investing investors into your token or your community, and they can physically see what it represents through the art that you present.
That's great, man. I mean, to anyone who's been following this channel for a long time, like, I'm a big proponent of using crypto for anything other than money. And well, I mean, it's phenomenal. Trust me, I love the financial aspect of cryptocurrency, but the blockchain was designed for something a lot greater. And it's cool to see that evolving over time. Like, we are starting to do some really great stuff with the blockchain.
Yeah, I definitely see that. It's very much about the community now than just making money. I've been here for 10 years, and I've loved the growth. I've been seeing this expansion of, it's sort of a consciousness of expansion, and to see that really grow and evolve into what we have now has been just an amazing thing.
Yeah, it really has. All right, we are where I would like to get some community questions in here. Guys, I made sure I'm saving plenty of time this time. So to anybody who does not want to ask in VC, you can jump into the post that says VC open for Bear Token AMA and giveaway, and you can ask your question there. Let's see if we have any so far.
Hello.
Oh, go ahead, bud.
Thank you, Gilles. How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How are you?
Hey, what's up?
Thank you. Yeah, my question. You guys mentioned that after some time, the 1% of the holders will get 1% of the treasury, right? So, what is going to be happening after all of that? After is like I don't know, like a spread between all of the holders. Like, what's going to happen after that?
I think I can answer this, and I think I know what you're getting at, right? Because once we disperse the treasury, what's the value of the project? And I think I mentioned this at the start. I don't know if you got to hear that part, but the project actually has an end date. So when we disperse the treasury, we're actually going to be pulling the liquidity and adding it to the treasury and dispersing it to everybody. That's the end of the bear token, and that's a good thing. And that's a good thing because that means the bear market's over. And that means we're going into a bull market. So we're projecting the end. We're going to give everybody their rewards, and then everybody can spend their money how they want. Hopefully they made a good profit. And from then on, I mean, like I said, we're the Crypto Cravers. We're going to have other projects. This is not our only project. We have other ones that we're already thinking about in the works. So if you want to follow the development team, you're welcome to join one of the next projects we're working on. But the bear token at that time of disbursement will be over.
And I'd like to add one piece to that. So essentially, you're going to know well ahead of time before any of this happens. So essentially, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to find out, okay, this ends, in 2 weeks from now. So I'm going to do my calculations and essentially see what's better. Should I sell? Should I hold till the end? Or should I maybe do a little bit of both, right? Because it's going to be a moving target. So some people are going to sell, some people are going to buy, some people are going to hold. And, there's still the 12% going into the treasury. So, yeah, it's essentially giving everybody an opportunity to make their investment before the project ends.
Yeah, well, I was wondering because if like you said, you mentioned that the project is going to end 2 weeks before. How are you going to prevent, for people to constantly selling and, besides, rewarding the holder of the 1% of the treasury?
Well, for sure. Well, every cell has so every cell, the way the tokenomics work, 4% goes to the treasury and 4% gets burned. So if we have a bunch of people selling at the end, that's okay because it's just increasing the rewards for the holders and it's also burning supply. So the holders' rewards are going to get bigger in both of those ways.
All right, thank you.
Also, if I can add one thing, I didn't really understand the liquidity aspect of that. So if you guys are adding the liquidity to the rewards pool, that means that by selling, I would just be forfeiting my rewards. Or
well, no, we're going to make sure people have the chance. We're not going to pool liquidity before people have the option to, if they want to sell, they're welcome to sell. You know what I mean? As I said, we're a community project. We're not doing anything shady here. Yes, technically that's a rug pull, right? But we're doing it with everybody knowing it. We're going to announce it in advance, saying, hey, if you want to trade your token, sell your token, you have this much time before we put it into the rewards pool. And once it's in the rewards pool, that's it. You're going to draw your rewards.
No, you misinterpreted me. I get what you're saying. No, that's solid. I'm glad you're not going to pull a rug pull. No, I'm more so saying, like, I guess the reason to sell would be that your value is higher than your rewards right before the end. If you're adding the liquidity into that, then at the very least, while you lose the ratio of liquidity to market cap, you still get the actual value of the tokens plus the reward.
Yes. Yes.
Achilles, but you gotta realize the moving target effect, right? So you're essentially sitting on something like you're gonna be doing calculations. You're like, okay, well, what I have I can sell right now versus what's in the treasury. Everybody else is doing those calculations too, right? So they're also thinking about it like, hey, should I sell or should I buy right now? What should I do or should I hold? And if they're gonna sell, then that's gonna increase your output at the end. So you got to consider that. It's never really just going to be at one spot like, okay, this is where it's at. Because when you sell, everyone else now all of a sudden has a little bit more of the treasury or a little bit higher treasury to get at the end.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. All right, I'm going to jump into some VC questions here real quick, and then we'll jump back to one of the voice chat people. I'm sorry, some text questions. So Neon X. What are some activities you guys have done to keep the community active in printing?
Sure. So we do a lot of different things. So every week we usually do a lottery once a week. And I like doing a lottery because at the end of it, we all jump in the VC together and I put all the people who entered like on a prize wheel and we spin it. And we just kind of talk about the project for a few minutes. I like doing that. We do different giveaways. We do the last buy competitions and the biggest buy competitions. I mean, we're still starting out, so we still have a lot of those, and we don't pay for a lot of calls. We have a lot of marketing money to spend, and we like to give that back to the community. We don't need it just to pile up. We're not taking it for ourselves. Everything we get, we give back. So that's one of the things we do. In addition to that, the community is just really active, more so than I thought it would be. There's constantly conversation in there, just talking about everything, like just life. People are just getting to know each other. And I think that's a really big deal. There's a few other things that have been getting people excited. I announced last Friday when we did our AMA with Mad Apes that we had started our staking pool at Papaverse. So we have a 30-day locked staking pool where you can earn it's 60% APR, which is 5% a month rewards on your bag. And that got people excited. People are still talking about that. We do, as Nick talked about, we do different events. We held a 7-day, a 1-week holder event. We're going to do a 30-day event here at the end of the month where we talk about dispersing our treasury and do some prizes and giveaways and stuff. So we're really engaged with the community. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Every day there's something different.
Great. All right. Next question, guys. We've got one from Mr. George Sanchez Wales at Seawater. Really interesting name, my friend. Let's see. I'm going to go with the third part of your question. No, I'm not. Let's just go with the second part. So there's a lot of great. Mr. Sanchez, I don't know how to ask that question, man. I should have proofread that before I said I was going to ask. I'm sorry, buddy. If you want to reword that, feel free, but I do not know how to ask that. Let's go to D. Have you renounced the contract or the treasury wallet? And
no.
Wallet
go ahead.
Well, and would you be willing to provide wallet transparency? What is the address of the treasury and so on?
That would be such a bad idea.
Talk to me.
So somebody
Yeah.
piped in. I wasn't sure who was talking there. But the question was, have we considered renouncing the contract or the treasury? And I can speak to those two things. So as far as the contract, we have talked about renouncing the contract. There's nothing really preventing us from doing it, except for there's nothing really pushing us to do it, I guess. But the main question here, I think, is the treasury. The treasury is going to go up in value, and I can understand the concern, with control over a treasury, especially as it starts growing larger and larger. So we've implemented a few things. First off, the treasury is in a multi-sig wallet. No one member of the team can make any transactions out of it without, approvals from other members of the team. So we're holding each other accountable. We're a team of 4. And on top of that, I would like to say we're holding ourselves accountable because, we have to. As I said at the start, we're a doxed business. We're the Crypto Cravers LLC. If you go to our website, you can see our faces. You can go to our LinkedIn pages. If we steal the money out of the treasury, we're going to jail. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, guys, as JP mentioned, the team is, we're all doing okay, all right, financially. We're not by any means.
I'm sorry, your mic is messing up there a little bit.
Yeah, Vadim, you're out of service. But what he's saying is, I think I know what point he was going to make, and it's what I said earlier is we all have full-time jobs. We all take care of our families in our own ways. We're not doing this for the money. We're doing it because we love crypto. Obviously, making money is fun, but we're doing it because we love crypto and we want to have a successful project.
Achilles, you mind if I ask a question?
Not at all, man. Go for it.
Well, they just answered. One of them was the multi-sig on the treasury wallet. That's what I was one of them. But I was also going to say, do you have a multi-sig on your marketing wallet as well?
No, we don't have our marketing wallet as a multi-sig. Honestly, the marketing wallet hasn't really gotten that big. What we've been doing with our marketing money is two things. We've been using it for giveaways, and we've been actually using our marketing money to pair LP because we really want this project to have a strong backbone. And as I said, the project speaks for itself. The chart speaks for itself. The best marketing is just looking at the strength of the project. So we're using our marketing money just to put into the LP.
Nice. What contract compiler version are y'all using?
Ooh, that's a Vadim question. I hope he has service.
I can look it up if not.
Yeah, I can look it up.
Seeing if you were in the 8 series.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on the management end, like the idea end. I don't do coding myself. Yeah, Vadim, I don't know if he's live or if his service is even working, but we can get all that information to you afterwards as necessary.
I can tell you guys.
Yeah, Kelly's got it.
Yeah, let me just pull up the BSC scan here.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can. Right after I answer the last one, give me 1 second. I'll find the compiler version. And we're on the contract 8.4.
Nice.
Not the scammy 6s we hate to look at.
I was making sure, man. Dude, the 6s are so bad. You can just backdoor the hell out of them.
Yeah, I don't really hate 6s very much. They're not around anymore as much as they were.
No, for a reason. Well, I've just seen people I saw a guy a couple months ago get sold a contract directly from Pink Sale, and it was a 6.4.
6.4 is better than 6.3.
No. It was the rewards contract that was like you could backdoor the rewards contract side of it.
No, I remember him. I remember him really well.
Yeah.
Quite bad.
We had to get him to pause trading, and Big Bull wrote him a new contract.
Dude, 6.3 you could fake renounce. That was like the biggest scam time. That was not cool with those. All right, who else wanted to ask a question? Sorry.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
ABF, go ahead, bro.
all right. So I've been listening, and yeah, it's quite an interesting project, I must commend. And I like the Treasury Investment Fund. I like the fact that we have to hibernate and stuff, and then to make a couple of exits. But the question is, it's just a curious question. What if you had launched last year, and then what if the community had voted that we invest on Luna? I mean, all research being done. I mean, you cannot totally predict the crypto space. And what if we had run into a situation as that happening to the Luna community right now? What would have been the response of the team in such a situation?
Well, I'll answer that on two fronts. So one, I can't really say we can predict that. That's something that's kind of impossible to say. But what I can say is that we're making smart investments. And Nick, our graphics guy, like he said, he's been investing for over 10 years. And we're not only taking, we're using his knowledge, but the knowledge of other groups as well. We're not just doing this on our own. And just for example, as I came into the crypto space and Nick was giving me advice, I asked him about Luna, and he said, "No, don't buy Luna. It's a completely horrifying contract. Don't buy it." And so, if people are shouting that around the community, why would we make investments in those types of projects? So I would say that we're taking advice from the right people and looking for the right projects to invest in. And if for some reason we get snookered and we make that investment, well, we were a community when we voted, so we're a community when we lose. Does that make sense?
Okay, I get the fact that. All right. I was just curious. I wanted to know. And you mentioned a couple of partners you have. I'm also curious. Do they support the project financially, or they're just partners, angel investors, or you're running on their funds and they get interest in one way or the other?
I didn't quite understand the question. I think you were asking our advisors, or are they direct?
No, I was talking about your partners. You mentioned a few partners you have right
Oh,
now. So, yeah, so I'm like, do they invest in your project, or they just support you with funds and then you have some interest in your
no.
project?
So our partners are actually other projects. So you look at the FUDUX project or the Popaverse project. They run dexes, exchanges. I know Safe Zone runs. They're creating tools to browse Safe Docs projects. No, our partners that I mentioned, they all have their own projects. Yeah, they invest in ours. They tell their community about our project, and we get some investors that way. But we also tell our community about their project, because we're a serious crypto project, and all of our partners are going to be serious crypto projects as well. We're not going to partner with a group that is just a silly pump and dump scheme. So I would check out any of our partners we have listed. I would recommend looking at their channels, and yes, they support us through just mutual benefit, because we all have something. It's a community project. We all have something to gain from each other.
Oh, nice. That's okay. All right, so this sounds really cool to me. I will just hop into your project and then I will stay by the community. Thank you and good luck. I really love this project.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question. We have time for one final question. Whoever just said hello, go ahead. Mr. C. Man.
Yeah, hello, Achilles.
Hey, man.
Well, yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Well, let me just go to the question.
Mr. C, you with me?
I really like the website look. I like the graphics of the website. It's very nice.
That's good. I like the website too. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll just tell you the website looks good. I really like the graphics, but my question is on the treasury aspect.
Sure, man. What's the question about the treasury?
Does it count on the amount of token I own? Or yeah, I wanted to know if when treasury is liquidized, does it count on the amount of token I own, or how long I've been with the token? Do you get the answer? Do you get the question?
Mr. C.
Yes.
Like when the treasury is being liquidated, Is it going to be
No.
shared equally? Okay, it's going to be shared equally to everybody without the amount of token or how long you've owned. Do you get the question?
Yeah, I understand your question, Mr. C. I've heard this one before, and the question is, I'll restate it in case anybody didn't hear him quite. The question is the disbursement based on your proportional holdings, or is it based on the amount of time you've held the token? And it is solely based on the proportion of the supply that you hold. And the reason we're doing it that way is because and not doing it based on the length of time holding it is because the people that purchase at the very end are not going to be able to, won't be able to afford as much as people who bought at the very beginning, because the price is going to be so much higher, of course. So you're getting rewarded by holding, because if you buy now, you're getting it at a lower price. So you're holding more throughout the project and you'll get your proportion at the end. Now, if you buy at the very end, you're going to be paying a premium for it for a piece of the pie. Does that make sense?
I hope that answered your question, Mr. C.
Yeah. So just to sum, it's solely based on the amount of tokens you hold. It is not
Yeah,
based
I
on
understand. Thank you very much for clarification.
Yep. Thanks, Mr. C.
All right, guys. So that is going to be the end of our recording. If anyone from the team wants to give some final questions or comments, go ahead. Now's the time.
Sure. Nick or Vadim, you got anything to say? Nope, guess not. That's okay. So my final word is, like I said, we have multiple things happening in the near future. We're making our first investment in a couple weeks, which is really exciting. Just a reminder, we're very involved in our community. We have already introduced staking features, and there's more to come with that. Yeah, that's all I really got. Nothing else to say. I think we covered pretty much every aspect of the project today. But if you have any questions going forward, join at the Bear Token Telegram. The link's in Kelly's room there. And yeah, just come talk. We're always around. We're always happy to answer questions.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Again, very happy with the project. Happy to see the chart going up. I'm going to end the recording here. And thank you for the NFTs.